Picture this. Electric vehicles, once heralded as the future of transportation, are piling up in scrapyards with dying batteries, and fake meat, marketed as the next big thing in sustainable eating, sits unsold on store shelves, nearing expiration. So what happens next? These products, promoted as solutions to save the planet, are quietly shipped off to developing countries, marketed as gifts for a greener lifestyle. But beneath this narrative lies a troubling reality. These exports are becoming a growing environmental and ethical issue, more about offloading burdens than offering meaningful solutions. Electric vehicles are celebrated for their zero tailpipe emissions and potential to reduce greenhouse gases, but the growing adoption of EVs has led to a new waste crisis: battery degradation. Lithium-ion batteries, the core of EVs, lose efficiency over time, eventually reducing the vehicle's range and usability. Replacing these batteries is prohibitively expensive, especially for second-hand buyers in developing nations. As a result, these imported EVs quickly turn into useless heaps, left abandoned in scrapyards or on roadsides. Developed nations, eager to promote green technology, ship these vehicles overseas as part of aid programs, but without the necessary infrastructure for maintenance and charging, they become a liability rather than a benefit. The disposal of these batteries adds another layer of environmental concern. Lithium-ion batteries contain hazardous materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel, which, if improperly discarded, can leak toxic chemicals into the soil and water. Most developing countries lack the recycling facilities needed to handle these materials safely, leading to long-term contamination risks. What was once seen as a solution to pollution is now contributing to a new kind of e-waste crisis, exacerbating environmental problems instead of alleviating them. Meanwhile, fake meat products are finding their way into developing nations, but not because of demand. Promoted as a more sustainable alternative to traditional meat, these processed products are being marketed in regions where diets are already sustainable and deeply rooted in local agricultural traditions. Many of these nations rely on fresh, seasonal foods, making fake meat seem unnecessary and even unappealing. For communities accustomed to eating whole, natural ingredients, the introduction of highly processed alternatives feels more like an intrusion than an improvement. Fake meat is often made from industrially grown crops like soy and peas, cultivated through monocropping, an environmentally damaging practice that depletes soil nutrients and relies heavily on chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Additionally, the processing required to turn these crops into meat-like products consumes significant energy, diminishing the environmental benefits claimed by fake meat advocates. In markets where locally sourced and nutritionally dense foods are readily available, fake meat offers little to no improvement in sustainability, making its introduction seem out of touch with local needs. Adding to the issue is the practice of exporting unsold or expiring fake meat products to these regions. Often framed as foreign aid or part of trade deals, this creates significant food waste when these products are not consumed or integrated into local diets. The result is a troubling parallel to the EV situation. Developed countries offloading unwanted goods, with developing nations bearing the environmental and logistical consequences. The similarities between the dumping of outdated electronics and the export of second-hand EVs and fake meat are striking. Both represent a pattern of shifting environmental burdens onto nations with fewer resources to manage them. Just as discarded electronics filled landfills in poorer countries, EVs and fake meat are contributing to new forms of waste, creating long-term hazards. Toxic batteries pollute ecosystems, while unsold fake meat rots in landfills, releasing methane, a potent greenhouse gas. Rather than fostering sustainability, these actions perpetuate a cycle of environmental harm. Ethically, this practice raises serious questions. By exporting second-hand EVs and fake meat to countries that lack the infrastructure to handle them, developed nations are shifting responsibility for waste management and environmental harm onto those least equipped to address it. This isn't promoting sustainability, it's perpetuating a system of environmental injustice. Furthermore, introducing these products often undermines local economies. The influx of EVs in regions unprepared for their maintenance disrupts established transportation systems, while fake meat competes with local farmers and food traditions, displacing industries that are better suited to the region's needs. True sustainability isn't about exporting surplus products. It's about building local capacity and supporting regional solutions. For transportation, this means investing in projects that align with the region's unique challenges. Solar-powered transportation, improved public transit systems, and bicycles or electric rickshaws are far more practical and sustainable than sending outdated EVs to areas lacking charging stations or recycling facilities. Similarly, Addressing food security and sustainability doesn't require fake meat. It requires supporting local farmers and regenerative agricultural practices that prioritize soil health, biodiversity, and carbon sequestration. Developed nations also have a responsibility to invest in recycling and waste management infrastructure in the countries where their products are sent. For EVs, this means creating facilities to safely recycle batteries and reduce the risk of environmental contamination. For fake meat and other processed foods, it means addressing food waste and ensuring that exports align with local dietary needs and cultural practices. Without these steps, the export of green products will continue to create more problems than it solves. At its core, sustainability is about working with nature and local communities, not against them. Dumping second-hand EVs and fake meat onto developing nations is a short-term solution that prioritizes convenience over real progress. These nations deserve better than to inherit the waste and burdens of the developed world. By focusing on local solutions, we can empower communities to create their own paths to sustainability, rooted in their strengths and traditions. The push for electric vehicles and fake meat has been framed as part of a global movement towards sustainability, but when these products are dumped on developing nations, the narrative begins to unravel. Instead of addressing environmental challenges, these actions shift them onto the most vulnerable regions, perpetuating cycles of waste and inequality. A truly green future requires more than offloading responsibility. It demands collaboration, innovation, and respect for local ecosystems and economies. Let's rethink our approach to sustainability and prioritize solutions that benefit everyone, not just the wealthiest nations. Together, we can create a future that's not only greener, but fairer for all.